Hope you are doing marvelously well. Okay, what I want us to talk about today is how to set up your digital audio workstation for work. You want to set up, as in a short time frame so that you don't run out of your idea. Most of the time, when you sit to produce a music, there is something going on in your mind, and it is very important to quickly have a way to set up all you need in order to, you know, get your idea, moving immediately. So now what I just did is I just launched the Cubase interface. On my system, I'm using Cubase 8 interface. So what I will come here to do is create empty I'll create an empty stuff which it will prompt me a location. So on this location I'll just I think I should okay, let's create something new. I'll call that folder, sorry, let me delete this one. Let me call that folder MPMC. So 2020 2020 at 2020 MPMC. So why am I naming it like this? Music Production Masterclass. So immediately I created this stuff, then I can just click it and then say okay. Then the interface open for me to be used. So the first thing I would like to mention right now is setting, it's called project setup. It's called project setup. So project setup, I'll come to the top menus there, and the number 3 here is project. Below you'll see something like project setup. Project setup helps you to determine which sample rate you will be recording your project. I may not be able to go deeply into the issue of sampling resolution, bit depth and sampling resolution today, but it is important to understand that this thing affects whatever you will do by a lot. It has a lot to do with the quality of your recording. So, but since eventually most audio that will be rendered will be done at 44.1 kHz, then I just leave things at 44.1 kHz. There were times when I used to record at 48.000 kHz. And what does it mean? It means that the amount of sample. Let me give you an instance. When you get, in those days when we use small phones, maybe Symbian phone or all those Java phone, when you snap a picture, you can see the dot 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 that is making up the image to look like the image you captured. So those are pixels. Those are samples. So the same thing happens in the audio world. When you record through your audio interface, which is popularly known as sound card, so these settings determine what resolution you are recording per minute. So the other one is bit depth, 24 bits. It's the same thing. The resolution, maybe larger resolution recording or blah 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 like that. So I'll just leave this one at 44.1 and this one at 24 bits. Maybe in some other videos we'll be talking about cases where you need to, consider other bit depth or other sampling resolution. So for now, I'll just say okay, and then we are set to start moving. The next thing I would also like to do is, having known the kind of material I want to work on, then I quickly want to set up my metronome. I want to set up my metronome, the click track on some other software like Pro Tools. They call it the name click track. So you create a click track, but in Cubase, you just put on the click, just like this. You put on the click, and then it will just come up. But on some other softwares, you have to create a channel for your click track. Okay? So, and then I set my tempo. You are a musician, sir, so I don't need to delve more into, so tempo, which is BPM, that's the amount of beat per minute. So this determine the how fast or how, solemn you want, how slow or fast you want the song to sound. So having considered this part, one other part I would like to consider very, very importantly is to come to device, then you go to device setup, and then you check your sound card, what's it called, and then this VST audio system, then you come below whatever you are using, and then you just come here, you see the buffer size. It's called buffer length in some cases. Some other software call it buffer size. You want your buffer size to be around, when you are recording a song from beginning, you want it to be around as low as possible. And this is the reason why. When you are recording as low as possible, there won't be latency. In cases where we use 512 is when we have already, done stuffs and then we want to mix. So when a lot of stuff is going on already and you want to mix, so you may just use 512 or even 1024. So that's a case where you need that. And then the next thing is to create your instrument track. So I just want to create a piano track right now, and then create, and then it appear like that. So more importantly, while you have set up your metronome and everything, your MIDI keyboard is set up, everything is well set up. Your sound card, your microphone is ready to work, and then this guy too is set up. Whatever instrument you want to use is set up. You choose the tone. Don't rush into these things. You choose the sound that fits what you really have in mind to do. So, and then you are set to. So another advice I give is don't start recording from the first bar. You may want to do something else at the beginning later, so you just move in a little bit more and then you start whatever you want to do from there. So you may want to start with a loop track. So, and how do you do that? Most of the time I just create a circle here where I'll put this locator, left and right locator, the one I just did now, and then I click this transport circle, I make it on, so that when this plays, it comes back to the same spot. I hope you get this, sir. So I would like to bring an instrument that has a loop in itself. And one of them is this drum instrument. It has a loop in itself. So, in the course of this course, you'll be getting exposed to stuff that I use in order to make life easy in production for myself. So this is a mixer on the stuff. So I'll just come here. What I need right now is a shaker. So I'll just look at the shaker I really like. If I like it, what I do is I drag it and I drop. I drag it and I drop, no troubles, and I paste so that when this plays, it loops back to the beginning. Just with this working here, I can, with what I have, I can start singing on it. But in most cases, if I want to advise, if you are a good keyboard player or you are a guitar player, whichever instrument you want to use as a guide track, the first thing you want to do when you are recording, when you already know your song, is to record what I call a guide track. So what does a guide track entails? It entails a rhythmic element, the lead element, and the pad element. So what if I'm going to do a song like Mo dúpẹ́ Jésù ó ṣé? So I will need this kind of thing. Then the next thing I want to record is the accompaniment. I can use a guitar or I can use a piano. And I will be singing the song while I play the accompaniment. So when I play the accompaniment with the pad, with the shaker rhythmics going, I play the accompaniment, then later I will then do what's it called? I will then sing my song. So we'll be having 3 tracks: the audio, that's the vocal track, the guide track, which is whether guitar or keyboard, whichever one you want to use, and then anyone like shaker or something, rhythmics. It can be a tambourine. So with those 3, anybody who listens to it at that point can have a sense that, oh, this is a song. And then from there, things can start building along. So I think I would like to stop here for now. There may be other things that we want